Yeah. Yeah. Praise God. God. I thank God for this day. I thank God. This is the 29th day of July, right? In the year of our Lord 2018. Wow. 2018. Wow. That's something. Sometimes I wonder, I say, Lord, you got me here in the 2000s and you got me into the 2000s going toward 2025. Wow. I don't know if I'll be here 25 or 24, 23, but maybe next week. Who knows? But God is a good God. I'm going to tell you, he's good and his mercy endureth forever. But grace aboundeth much, but grace don't last forever. Grace age. I think we are at the end of the age of grace. See, there was a few books that was taken out of the Bible that will tell us that, but I don't know why these people had to go mess with them books. They should have left the books alone. I don't care what the heritage of the people was that messed with them. God ain't scared of your behind. Really. Who the heck you think you are? Whoo, boy. Lord have mercy. I'm glad I'm not on that ledger with God's enemies. But anyway, I composed this back in the 80s. I think Jesse Jackson was running for president. Wow, it was deep. And we got hooked up with I know it was a group. We got hooked up with a group called Causa. C-A-U-S-A. C-A-U-S-A, yeah. And they talked a pretty good game, but then we found out they wasn't, they were more or less wolves in sheep's clothing. But see, we wasn't playing that stuff because, man, we knew who God was, and we wasn't playing. See, they white faces didn't scare us at all. They didn't scare us at all. They sheepskin and stuff on their walls and trying to berate us because we were we were dark people. In fact, that's what we should go back to being called. Dark people, not black people. Dark people, because that doesn't really match us being black. Black is black, man. Black is black. Black is one color, is black. You understand? So black is black, man. But we're more or less dark people. We have the darker hued people. See, we don't need to get no suntan, nothing like that. We got some melanin. We got melanin. I don't believe I don't believe you white folks have it. I don't believe you people of that ilk do not have melanin. Because I think if you don't have melanin, you don't have no color. So what's that all about? You're supreme, you're white. So you just, antiseptic? I don't know. Listen, I ain't gonna get into the race thing because there's a whole bunch of that stuff going on. But I will say this. Like I said, God had me to write this back in the 80s. Wow. And I'm going to read it. I don't know if I'm going to explain it as I go, but it's to the lost sheep of Israel. And God says if you be his people, he will be your God. Now, whoever the lost sheep of Israel, that's who God is speaking to on this paper. The paper was really written not only from me, but it was from God, because I don't have the intelligence to have written this. I don't have the intelligence without God instructing me. But a while back, the Creator planted a vineyard and called it Israel. He chose Jacob and 4 different women to be the parents of this mighty nation called Israel. And even it went further because Joseph married, listen to this now, a black man, Joseph, who was a Hebrew, because he came from Jacob, married an Egyptian priest's daughter, who was also black. See, this is why you get to wondering why all of the European-looking people over there in Israel. But God will straighten that out. He chose Jacob and 4 different women and Joseph, Jacob's son, which was the 11th one, to be the parents of this mighty nation called Israel. And God watered this vineyard, and he had it to grow, and it began to rely. He watered this vineyard, and he had it to grow into a very prosperous nation, as he had given Abraham to know that he would have a nation such as Israel, because he had Abraham to go away from his kindred, because his kindred was worshiping idols. And God said, get away from them. I'm going to send you into a land where, hey, I'm going to make of you a mighty nation. And God watered this vineyard, and he had it to grow into a very prosperous nation. But Israel got beside themselves and began to rely on outsiders more than their God. That was Israel's problem. They listened to outsiders, just like us today. Us people of the dark hue, we listen to outsiders that don't look like us to get advice that would help us. Now, ain't that a kick in the head? But they went a-hoeing after other nations' gods, Baal, and whatever these other cats' names was. I don't know what the names are. They got the same gods today. They done changed the names of them probably. And these false gods overcame them and took them over many times. Many times. Many times. Every time they started going after them other gods of them nations, there they went into captivity. Israel was in bondage not long after it was formed. They labored in bondage under the Egyptians until God heard their cry and raised up Moses to lead them out of bondage into the promised land. Wow. They were given to conquer the inhabitants of Canaan land, and God gave them what land which is now called Asia Africa or Asia Minor, because actually Africa didn't come into prominence until Africa, the name Africa, really didn't come into prominence or into being until it was known as one of the 53 cities of Judah. It's the only time you see Africa in the Bible. I bet you a white man ain't going to tell you that Africa's in the Bible. I bet you. Not all of them, I'm sorry, because we do have some white brothers out there that don't want to be playing this stupid game. But anyway, it wasn't spelled A-F-R-I-C-A, and it wasn't from Africanus, this Italian dude. That's a big lie. That it came, Africa was named from an Italian name. Oh Lord, please! I don't even want to say nothing because it makes me mad to even say that. You know why people think dark people are stupid. After God had Israel to prosper under his guidance, they would do things that displeased him, and he would sell his own people into bondage. Simple as that. God said, hey, you going to obey me, or you going to obey those that you obey? Because, see, I send you strong delusion, just like he's sending these folks over here in America. These straight arrow white folks. Straight arrow. I'm white. I'm supreme. Oh, Lord. They can't touch me. I sit up high. And can't nobody touch me. But anyway. Yeah, I'm a little comedian too, man. I became a comedian basically because I really didn't want to choke a whole lot of folk. But no, God told me, no. He said, you don't choke nobody. I'll choke them for you. You know. But anyway, God heard their cry and raised Moses up to lead them out of bondage into the promised land. They was given to conquer the inhabitants of Canaan land. He said, that's your land. The land of Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hittites. He said, go, that's your land. So now we among them again, and we in there. Well, this ain't even their land because this was the Levites' land. And this is what I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm going to look at you real hard. This was the land of the Levites. Now, if you don't know who the Levites are, look in the Bible. Central, South, North America was the land of the Levites. The Mayans, the Aztecs, and it just spread on out. Oh, my goodness. That's what's happening now with those people coming from Ecuador and Guatemala and San Salvador. They just, some of them relatives that y'all killed over here and the massacre that you massacred the Native Americans. Yes, I said it, because y'all never apologized for that. Y'all think y'all can be mean, baby. God can be meaner. And after God had Israel to prosper in his guidance, they would do things that displeased him, and he would sell his own people into bondage because of disobedience to him. The Assyrians, this was after the Egyptians, the Babylonians, and the Medo-Persians. But the Medo-Persians, they were cooler with Israel, I believe, than any other nation, because they really respected Israel. But the Greeks and the Romans, oh my goodness, the Greeks could not stand Israel. They were destroying statues with big noses and thick lips, and oh, they did a job. And the Romans were just as bad, because look what they did to Jesus. Look what they did, what happened to Jesus, because Jesus really said, y'all listen, ain't nobody in history gonna be able to say that they killed me because I laid my life down. That's how that's what y'all don't read about Jesus. Jesus said he laid his life down because he had the power to pick it up. Now, you get to that. They don't preach that in the preaching of the cross that much. But that's what he said. It's in the scriptures. I ain't got to tell y'all. Y'all done read the Bible backward and forwards. Y'all didn't want us to read it backward and forwards, though. Romans, and now the European and North American nations have had God's chosen people in bondage. Wow. Oh, yeah. Y'all done had us in bondage the last few years. 1260 years plus. But the 1260s are up, and a whole bunch of the pluses up. So, because God said, hey, he said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 to the inhabitants of the earth. Say, what the accuser of his people is after them. During the Roman Empire, God sent his son Jesus, or Yeshua, because there ain't no J really in Hebrew word, to redeem the lost sheep of Israel. That's what he said. He said, I came for the people. But they were very slow to accept Jesus for who he was. You understand? His apostles were given to spread the gospel to the lost sheep of Israel. And they did just that. Jesus told them not to go unto the Gentiles. Who was the Gentiles? The Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hittites, the Girgashites, all of them, which were descendants of Ham. Okay? And by the way, Ham's descendancy at first was black. It slowly began getting into being white. So y'all hear what I said. Ham's ascendancy, his first heritage, he was a dark man. Because Noah was dark, his wife was dark, and he had 3 dark sons. Now the sons had picked wives of their own choosing that was on that ark. Y'all think that's a fantasy. The ark is up there on Mount Ararat. Ask the Russians. The Russians know about the ark. Ask Donald Trump if the Russians know about the ark. Hey, tell Donald Trump to ask Putin if they know about the ark. And they better not mess with it. During the Roman Empire, God sent his son Jesus to redeem the lost sheep, of Israel. But they were very slow to accept Jesus for who he was. Plus, you had Paul going crazy because Paul was still into the Mosaic law. And Paul was kicking ass, man. He was kicking the Hebrews' ass who were accepting Jesus. He was stoning them. He was doing a job. He didn't stone Stephen, but he was present. But see, God got tired of that and told him, hey man, you got to change your thing. And he struck him blind. That's what he's going to do with some of these people out here that's talking all this dumb stuff. He's going to strike them blind because they're delusional. He's going to strike them blind, watch. Or what to say, what's that thing? Yeah, they're going to get amnesia, not amnesia. What is it? Maybe I got it already. But anyway, during the Roman Empire, God sent his son Jesus to redeem the lost sheep of Israel. But they were very slow to accept Jesus for who he was. His apostles was given to spread the gospel to the lost sheep of Israel. But see, God seen two people that wasn't no lost sheep of Israel. And he was amazed at them, at how they believed. See, Jesus, man, Jesus is something else, man. Y'all better leave Jesus alone, Jack. You understand? And we talking about the original Jesus. And I ain't talking about the Jesus that y'all put in whiteface. I ain't talking about that one because you know that was not supposed to even be. But y'all did that to advance your form of Christianity. Or Christianity as you say it. But during the Roman Empire, God sent his son Jesus to redeem the lost sheep of Israel. But they were very slow to accept Jesus. And just like I'm saying, Saul was acting a fool. And until God straightened him up and put him on straight street. He said, you go down the straight street because you on a crooked street now, Jack. You go down the straight street because he said, you're going to get straightened up. The man he even said to said, oh man, he sent me Saul. But see, God ain't scared of none of us, man. We just here for a while. And they did just that. That's what them apostles did. They did not go to the lost. They did not go to the Gentiles until everything, I guess God had told them to go then because everything had changed a little bit. But don't think just because the lost sheep of Israel was lost back then, and they still lost here in y'all's history books and all of that. Because see, y'all got a game going on. Y'all got a big game going on, man. You know, I'm going to talk street stuff a little bit. Y'all got a game and a half, really. But all of the 12 apostles complied with what Jesus commanded them except Judas. Now, Judas was crazy. Here's Judas with the greatest man in the world, but he let Satan send him straight to hell. Like a lot of people are going to go to hell, man. But I really believe that there's more good people than it is bad people. But it's the bad people who do so much damage. They do so much damn damage. You know? Judas is Iscariot who betrayed our Savior for 30 pieces of silver. Money, man. A love of money. And after that, he couldn't live with himself. He hung himself. That's suicide. So he's gone. He's gone, man. Not until God converted Saul to the Apostle Paul did the Gentile heathen nations have a chance for salvation. Now, when I wrote this, I did not know about the 8th chapter of Acts, which even before Paul was converted to teach the Gentiles the gospel. The gospel really is probably called just the truth. The truth. Because I remember when we was out in the street, we used to use that jargon. We used to use that for the truth. We say, hey man, no, that's gospel, man. And when we said it was gospel, basically, we usually was saying a true thing. I don't think we was using that and saying it was gospel and we knew that it wasn't gospel. You understand? I don't think we were that crazy. You know, even though we was drinking that wine and taking them drugs and messing with them women. And then, man, what can I say? But we wasn't that crazy. Because God knew. See, God keeps you on a, God puts you on how can I say it? How can I say what he did with me? Man, I went through so many changes out there in the street that he taught me. He really taught me. He taught me out in the street. Now, and I ain't gonna say I was no street professional, but he taught me, and when he did, I just had to cry seeing that, man, why did I wait so long to come into his fold? Why did I wait so long to hear his voice? Why did I wait so long? But anyway, getting back to the 8th chapter of Acts. See, the 8th chapter of Acts tells us about an Ethiopian eunuch who ran into Philip, who was an apostle of Jesus. He ran into Philip, and then Philip started reading the scriptures, and the eunuch got very, he got so, I guess it just went into his soul. And he said, who is this? Who is this you talking about? And then I guess he said it was Jesus. He said, that's was Jesus. And the man said, well, listen, there's water. There's some water. Can you baptize me? So evidently, maybe by him reading the scriptures to this eunuch, he accepted Jesus. And he wanted to be finalized by getting baptized. And after he got baptized, where do you think he went? He went back to Ethiopia and the parts of Africa and taught. But he had heard from Philip before Paul. Before Paul now. Before Saul, was converted to Paul and went to preach and went and taught the Gentiles. So that's a very important thing there. Before he did it. But anyway, that was before the Gentiles got the gospel of Jesus, or the gospel, the truth of what Jesus was teaching. That was before the Gentiles got it. Because you better believe the lady didn't start it at the crumbs from the table, or the Italian policeman who wanted Jesus to heal his servant long distance. He had so much faith, belief in Jesus. Jesus marveled. That's what I'm saying. He marveled at these two non-Hebrews. Oh yeah, I'm gonna break it down, man. I don't care whoever theologians, theologians, whoever it is, and want to talk some stuff. Let's talk it, cause I ain't backing up from you at all, really. My God ain't gonna let me back up. I want him to push me towards you, really. Shoot, don't let me back up, God. And the eunuch's name was Simeon, or Simon. I think it was Simon. Yeah, Simeon, just like the second son of Jacob. Okay. All right, now see that that's straight. And I remember one time where some people were across the street from the church I went to in Harlem called the Ethiopian Coptic Church. Stayed in that church for about 11 years. And I learned a lot about Christianity, and I learned about believing in Jesus, and I learned about a whole lot of other stuff that goes on in different churches, because every church got their own little wrinkle. See, that's why God said he don't want no spots or wrinkles in his truth. He don't want no spots or wrinkles in his truth. He want the truth. He said he gonna come with a church with about spot, no wrinkle, no tradition, no what you call. I started to call y'all name, but I really ain't scared of y'all either. No Masonic mess, no Illuminati mess, none of that mess. He wants the spot and the wrinkle. Say he's a jealous God, because some people say, oh, God's jealous. Oh, ain't that something? God is jealous. Oh, I'm just so turned off because God, listen, God can be anything he want to be. Who in the hell are we to tell God who to be when he created us for his pleasure? He created us for his pleasure. It ain't the other way around. He created us for his pleasure. So, so God was jealous. So what? We be jealous. So that means we got some of the characteristics of God. We be jealous, man. Man. You better not mess with my wife, man. Wife say, you better not mess, man. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Shoot, and jealousy, boy. Whoa. I had a girl who was so jealous at one time, man. Lord, I couldn't talk to nobody. Anyway, but thank God, Lord, thank you for her. And if she's listening, I hope she understands who I'm talking about. And I ain't got hey, girl, I ain't never hated you in my life. I never did. Thank you for you being there at the time you was, because you made me feel good. And I hope I made you feel good. But both of us wouldn't wrap too tight where we could really feel good, if you know what I'm talking about. But hey, okay, so not until God converted Saul to the Apostle Paul did the Gentile apostrophes or Gentiles, i.e. heathen nations, have a chance for salvation. These Gentile nations today comprise Europe and most of North America, and Russia too, because they all could pass for, hey, y'all don't have no Hebrew looking thing unless y'all hide them over there. You have an ear, listen to what the Spirit says to your soul. Jesus Christ was conceived, listen to this, of the Holy Ghost in his mother's womb. And he ministered unto the poor, the sick, and those that were in bondage. He cleansed lepers. He raised the dead. This is just a little bit of what he did. Cast out demons. He was crucified by the Roman Jews, i.e. not the Hebrew Israelites. Hebrew Israelites didn't, but they had their own part in it because, who was it, Herod? But then I heard Herod was kin to Caesar, a Pilate. It was some kinfolk stuff between the Jewish people back then, or the leaders, and the Roman politicals. I know I'm gonna get in trouble with this. I don't care. Shoot. He was crucified by the Roman Jews, not the Hebrew Israelites, but Jesus made sure. He said, listen, they might have crucified me, but I laid my life down because I knew I could pick it up. He was in the tomb for 3 days and arose and was seen by many witnesses. In fact, he pulled them people out of hell with him. It said, and this is something, right? I guess that's where you get that Walking Dead and stuff and all that stuff, the more crazy stuff. He said that people seeing people walking around had been dead for years after Jesus was raised from the dead. They would tell me, hey, man, I seen Junior, man. Junior, man, was over there on, man, I just thought Junior been dead for 10 years. But I seen him, man. He was walking. He was walking, man. I seen Mary, too. I know I seen Matilda. See Bessie Ann. Man, I thought I'd had too much to drink, man, but I seen him. That's right, he bought him out of hell with him, man. Bought him out. Went and tore hell up. And took and grabbed them, and when he came up, he brought all the rest of them up. I guess he left something down there, because see, somebody always wants to stay where they at. Like when he come again, see, he want to take us out of this, and it's going to be some, oh no, I don't want to go. Shoot, I'm happy here. I'm happy here with these people. These people, I'm happy with them. Lord, when you come and you want to take me away, take me, please. Because these some crazy Amorites. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm calling y'all, Amorites. I'm giving you your cotton-picking name from the Bible. The Amorites. It's like Father Abraham seen and had the nightmare about being enslaved at this time under the Amorites again. Right? And had a deep, dark nightmare about it. But he said, listen, he said, you ain't going to stay there. He said, you'll be there for a while. And hey, well, like I'm saying, 1,260 years, 70, man, most of them years up. And he ain't going to give y'all racists no more time. Are you serious? You think he going to give you more time than he got you allotted? I don't know how much the time is. But Lord, I hope it's shorter than it is. Really. Are you elitists? Are you demons? He was in the tomb for 3 days and rose and was seen by many witnesses. They said, look at that, go Jesus. There you go. For 40 days. Then he ascended up to heaven to be with his Father. And our God make an intercession for our sins. But this, remember this. Just go for all. You know, I know it made some of y'all mad, but I'm going to give you something to make you glad. He said, but remember this. Anybody, remember, he said, whosoever will, let them come. And in no wise, he will cast you out. He said, remember, if you reject Jesus, though, he going to reject you. So you can run around talking about, well, man, God's name is this and so. Yeah, and you don't put Jesus with it. You don't put Yeshua with it. It's half done. And like I said, I don't know how many people still like me, but it really don't make me any difference. It don't make me no difference. 32 minutes. Wow, that might be too long for